I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Music Theory Tuition series where I work with you step by step through the ABRSM Discovering Music Theory grades. I'll work through every single exercise and explain everything you need to know. You can access information about the books I have available to help you on my website. Go to sharonbill.com. For advert-free and longer lessons, you can become a patron at patreon.com/SharonBill. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel to stay updated. You can support this channel by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/SharonBill. Let's just recap the notes that we learned in the treble clef. So just remembering from page 8 that the notes of the treble clef on the spaces spell face, F-A-C-E. And then you can also just think that the lines, every good boy deserves football. And so it might be a good idea for you to just try this little exercise 3 on your own. So just press pause, have a go at naming these letter names, and then pop back into the video and we can check these answers through together. So do try and work them out from memory. It makes it harder now, I know, but you'll learn it so much more thoroughly, and it's always better to learn by your mistakes. It's okay. Always work in pencil, and if something goes wrong you can just erase it out and have another go. And do remember that when you're naming letter names you use capital letters. So let's just check these through. So we can see this first one was done for us, but I'll show you how it's worked out just to double check as a bit of revision. Spaces are face, F-A. Lines, every good boy deserves. And then this last D, there's the E line, every good E, and one below E is D. Out of interest, it's a good idea to try and just sort of sketch out a piano keyboard. It's quite easy to just sketch one out, and then you can see the progression of the notes, because actually the notes go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And it's just a good visual representation of the way the notes progress up and down the stave. And so we have 2 Ds here. It's not the same pitch. They're an octave apart, 8 notes apart. And if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, line space, it's 8 notes apart, and we can see that there are many Ds, and so we know which octave we're on then. And so pressing on, so the spaces are face, F-A-C-E, so we want F, and then F-A. Now here we are on the lines, every good boy deserves, and then F-A-C-E, that's an E. And then you can see we're back to that D again, faded. The next one, every good boy, face, F-A, every good boy deserves, every good, and then face, F-A-C-E, that gives us badge. And then every good boy, F-A-C-E, and every good boy deserves, that gives us bed. So now let's move on to the bass clef. Now notes in the bass clef are for low instruments, so bass guitar, cello, double bass, bassoon, all the low instruments like that. And the reason that we have this, if you remember, we can have ledger lines, but for example, if you only stayed in treble clef and we had to keep getting lower, 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 there'd be so many ledger lines, it would be very, very difficult to read. And so that's why we move into the bass clef. And then of course, if you only ever had the bass clef and we kept extending higher and higher and higher, we'd have the same problem. And so that's why as we get higher and higher, we convert to the treble clef. And so there's a different set of notes to learn now. And so let's now think about notes in the bass clef. So first of all, let's just draw the bass clef. It's a bit simpler to draw than the treble clef. It's sometimes known as the F clef because it begins on the second line down, which we'll find out is note F. And so I just start with a little blob there, and then it's just a hook over and angle it down, and then precisely either side of the line that the clef has started on, we have two little dots placed there. That's the bass clef. And then for the spaces, it's as if everything drops down a line or drops down a space. And so where the treble clef was face, this now begins ace, A, C, E, and then we have G. So you could think all cows eat grass. It's as if everything's just dropped down a space. And so for the lines, it used to be in the treble clef, every good boy deserves football, but now it begins good boys deserve football always, because we've gone G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, stepping up line, space, line, space, line. So that's another little system you can use to help you to just know how to name the notes without always having to keep referring to this chart. So we can use this chart for now, but I would also get used to using these, and that way you're reading them straight away. I know it makes it harder, it certainly does make it trickier, but it's best to be sort of doing the thinking now. It doesn't matter if you go wrong, you can always make sure you're writing in pencil, and then you can always just erase it out and have another go. And you do learn more thoroughly just by making those mistakes. And so we're now going to have a go at naming these notes. So go ahead, have a go at naming these notes. Try the little poem systems we've just discussed. And then you can double check here as well. And then we'll check through the answers together. So I'm hoping you've had a little go of this. And so now we're in bass clef. So we know it's good boys deserve football always, and all cows eat grass. So all cows eat grass, that's a C. And then good boys, that's a B. And again, out of interest, you can see there's a B and there's a B. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 notes apart. We call that an octave. Like an octopus, it's got 8 legs. And so we can see, if you just visualise that on a piano keyboard, there are going to be lots of Bs. And so we know exactly which octave we're in, which note. So we're not playing things at the wrong pitch. Although it's the same note name, it's a different pitch because this one is significantly higher, 8 notes to be precise, than this one. So let's continue. G, good boys. All cows eat grass. G, and again we can see we've got another octave difference there. Same letter name, different pitch. Now here we've got a little bit of extra thinking to do. We know that the lines are good boys deserve football always. That's A. One above that is B. So there's that B, because we've stepped outside of this ladder system and we're now extending past it. So we just have to sort of work out from the point that we know last and then count it up from there. And now we've run out of lines and spaces, and so we have to add an extension rung or a ledger line, and we can keep adding those line, space, line, space. And so one above B is C. Now it's called middle C because middle C is at the top of the bass, and if you refer back to the previous page, it's at the bottom of the treble. And it's as if you visualise the piano keyboard, it's as if you've met in the middle. So treble comes down, bass comes up, and you've met in the middle. So that would be middle C. And then we're back onto the little poems again. So good boys deserve football always. All cows eat. And again, we've just got a little bit of thinking to do. We know that this is a G, and so one below G is F. Again, remember, use capital letters. So here we're onto the ladder system, all cows eat grass, so that's an A. And then good boys deserve, there's a D. So that's the bass clef. I hope this is helpful to your studies. Please do like and subscribe to stay updated. If you'd like to support this channel, you can buy me a coffee, and for advert-free lessons you can become a patron. Do visit my website where you'll find many resources available to help you. Visit sharonbill.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.